What's up everyone? Today I'm gonna show you how to look after yourself. So just go and get some scissors, a nice trimmer, and let's get started. The method that I'm gonna show you is called visualization. So I don't know if that actually exists, but you just need to keep in mind how your haircut is gonna look like after you have finished. You're gonna start with the clippers, with the number 1 on the long cut, and then you start trimming around your head. The idea is to start building your gradient. So be patient, be focused, and keep going. You're gonna do this cut all around your head. So the idea is with the help of the mirror you look and you try to get it as even as possible. When you get to the back, you're just gonna touch your head and you're just gonna feel the curve that is on your head. And when you notice that the curve is starting, that's when you're gonna cut with the number 1. At the beginning it won't be easy, but with practice you will get better and better. I have done this for many years and every day I keep learning. So now we are just about to change clippers to number 2 on the long cut. We're just gonna start cutting a little bit above from where we finished the cut with number 1. So the gradient start having the better contour now. With the number 2 we are gonna go up as far as with the crown or your head starts, and you just make sure that we are not gonna cut further on top with the number 2. So we're about to use number 3, clipper number 3, but first you flatten the hair around the edge of the cut with number 2 is. So that's in order to cut some of the tips that are popping out. Now we have changed to number 3 and you start trimming all around that area. At this point I will be using number 4 and I'm just cutting a little bit up, a little bit on top of my head, and try to get a fine gradient right there. That's the beginning before I start cutting the top with number 5. Make sure that you use the high or low cuts on the adjustments of the machine, just to make sure that you have the nice gradient. Of course, if you are going from the lower one, you start with the higher one. Now with the number 5 I start working out the top of my head. So for this one I'm using number 5 on the short adjustment. The idea is not to have too much contrast from the number 4 long adjustment. Just work out your hair carefully with patience. Try to make sure that you cut as even as possible. Try not to cut from the front of your head unless you want to have a different look up. Now I go back with the number 2 long setting and I start trimming all around my hair just to try to make it more even all around the edges, especially where the transition between number 2 and number 3 were. The idea is to have a smooth gradient on that area. You can repeat this step as many times as you want. Still working out those areas with the number 2 on the long cut, and then I adjust slightly the adjustment on the number 2 to the shorter, and then keep working around. Now removing the clipper, I start working with the 0 and start doing the shorter bit of the gradient. So I will go from the bottom of my head, working out up and making it more smooth, especially around the ears. Now with the number 1 lower adjustment, I'm gonna start working out the gradient on the middle area of the head, so it will create a nice transition between the number 1 shorter and the number 2. Now with this kind of a blade comb tool that I have, I'm just gonna start trimming those fine hairs around the neck and also on the ear area. I'm just gonna cut with the scissors the front of my head just to give it a little nice look. I mean, the look that I want to get, but you will do it the way that you prefer. That's up to you guys. With the help of the scissors, you're gonna trim those tiny hairs or uneven areas were left behind by the trimmer. So just make sure you don't cut too much. Now with the number 0, you're gonna trim your beard. It's totally up to you, depending on how large is your beard, how tough it is. So you're just doing it according to the style that I want to get. This step is optional. With the help of a fine trimmer, which in this case I have, I'm just gonna profile a little bit underneath my face and also around the bottom part of the neck. That's to remove those fine hairs. Also, I will cut around my ears carefully without cutting myself. We are getting there, almost there. Just looking around and probably doing the final touches. Now with the normal razor, I'm just gonna profile around and give a nice shape to my beard. There is not much that I will explain from here onwards. The rest is just common sense, and it's up to everyone how they're gonna look like, how they're gonna carry on with their haircut. If you have liked this video so far, you let me know in the comment section. Here just making sure that those areas around the head are evenly cut, just to be aware of you. I don't have a mirror on my back, so everything is pretty much by touching and feeling with my fingers the areas that I'm cutting. And like I mentioned at the beginning, it's just visualization. All the time I just keep in my head thinking and visualizing how I'm gonna have my haircut, how is it gonna look like at the beginning, which areas I am working out, and so on. So this is a very good exercise for concentration and also for creativity. So that's it. Just be creative, but don't be to carry out too much. I'm just using here that blade comb just to give a nice finishing to my beard, very fine one. Here we go. So after having a shower, this is how it looks like. Nice cut, right size, easy to wear, easy to comb. So now I'm gonna use a little bit of gel just to help it to dress up. But I am happy. I think that the outcome is good. I have a nice gradient around the head. There is no tips popping out and everything looks perfect. Please don't forget the thumbs up and following me. Cheers!